we can start this session, and you can introduce yourself. Where do you come from, and what do you teach?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Um, Hi, dear participants. I'm greeting you from Baku, from Azerbaijan. Um, it's so nice to meet you here. So let's start. About the event, about our seminar. This online seminar shows how to improve teacher performance in eTwinning projects and how to develop pedagogical skills in creating the projects and how to make project closely related to the curriculum. We'd like to help the eTwinners and show how the teachers can integrate the curriculum and their lesson plans into the eTwinning project. And first about me, I'm the eTwinning ambassador from Azerbaijan and the teacher at Baku European Lyceum. And I've been involved in eTwinning for 7 years and got 11 European quality labels and a European prize for the project Young Scientists. Then, what do we need during this seminar or while creating our projects? We need in the way of implementing the lessons in the projects. We need curriculum, then content standards, yearly lesson plans, and textbooks. Why do we need? Because we should implement our lessons and curriculum in the projects, and depending on how broadly educators define or employ the term, curriculum typically refers to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn, which includes the learning standards or learning objectives they are expected to meet, the units and lessons that teachers teach, the assignments and projects given to the students, and the books, materials, videos, presentations, and readings used in a course. And why should we integrate the curriculum content standards into the project? Because sometimes teachers make some mistakes when creating a project, so maybe they waste the time. We should integrate the curriculum and content standards into the projects. First, the teachers develop projects outside the lessons or curriculum separately, or they don't develop project based on lessons and curriculum. They engage students in activities that are not related to the material they are going through or going to teach. Then they don't plan the project and activities properly. Maybe they don't know how to do this. And they don't know from where to get their goals and results or how to write them down. First, I'd like to decide, I should decide what curriculum, we should decide what curriculum is and what is PBL, and why their matching and implementing are so important for us. The curriculum contains the knowledge and skills that a student needs to master in order to move to the next level. And the term curriculum refers to the lessons and academics and content taught in school or in specific course or a program. And an individual teacher's curriculum, for example, would be the specific learning standards, lessons, assignments, and materials used to organize and teach a particular course. And what is project-based learning, or PBL? It is a teaching method in which students learn by actively engaging in the real world and a personal and meaningful projects. It is grounded in standards as a curriculum and content standards. It incorporates best practice of assessment for learning. Main part of the curriculum shows us the ways of assessment. And it is authentic to given community. It is a style of learning that encourages students to create a tangible, useful product to be shared with their world. They are real life tasks and or simulated tasks that provide the learners with opportunities to connect directly with the real world. And it explicitly scaffolds and assesses 21st century skills. And about the tips or the stages or how to create the project and implement lessons in project. First should be good idea, and we should brainstorm, create or generate a good idea. And second is time allotment, then benchmarking and planning, aims. We should create aims and activities. Also evaluate our project. First is brainstorm. First is the authentic project idea. So teachers sometimes say that the getting started with the project idea is the hardest part, but it is the most exciting part. I should say it is the most exciting part. Sometimes it is easy to do. First, we should identify a driving standard that provides a nice comparison. And then think about a current issue that brings the standards to life. Knowing we want to teach, for example, knowing we want to teach about the ecological problems, we can pull the science standards and that we are responsible for covering. For example, I take these standards from internet and three standards on science. Students find the ways of solving the ecological problems. Students explain the causes of the ecological problems, and students understand the cause and consequences of the ecological problems. According to these standards, we can brainstorm such idea that the topic of our project will be ecological problems, and the heading can be ecological problems, nature is our home, or let's save our environment. Or if we have yearly annual lesson plan, we can create our topic going through our chapters or units. For example, here I showed first chapter is about the people, they touch our lives. And the second chapter is about famous people and leaders. So we can create such project with the name famous leaders, well-known people, or they touch our lives. It can be the same as chapters topic. Then yearly annual lesson plan. The standards we will apply and implement during the year or during the course must match the objectives of the project. We should focus on specific standards, objectives, goals, and link the project to the standards and let students know exactly what they will know and be able to do as a result of the lesson and project. For example, in communication standards, Students engage in conversations and provide and obtain information, express feelings and emotions, and exchange opinions. Our standards is this, and so we can create such aim, increase asking and responding skills, or develop communication skills. As standard shows us, we should develop and increase these skills. Second, maybe students understand and interpret written and spoken language on a variety of topics. They could talk, and we can develop discussion skills, for example. So we can refer the standards and create the aims of our project. Then we should plan with the end in mind and jump to the final product and ask ourselves what do we want and what will the result be. There are so many ways that students can show what they have learned, from public service announcements to podcasts or documentaries to art illustrations and simulations or performances. Whatever is decided upon, all the project planning from the point on is in the service of preparing students to produce that final product. We should think about final daily learning will look like within our project, and hyperlink all daily lesson plans and resources so that it is in one place. Most of what is linked in the Google Docs or simply workshop resources and lesson plans that teachers traditionally used to cover to the content that appears in the project, or helpful new websites and activities to cover contemporary topics. I should say that founders, usually in eTwinning projects, founders create such documents, sharing documents in Google Docs or in any other collaborative tool. And every member or participant of the project add their suggestions and ideas to the plan of the project. And then we should zoom out and look at the big picture before zooming in to look at the specific days. And decide which part of this topic is main for us and how can we implement our lesson into the project. We should support a resource with guidance on planning daily lesson to meet the needs of learners. Activities, and maybe sometimes teachers ask or complains that they can't create activities or sometimes they can't implement their tasks in lessons into the activities in project. Lesson activities should match with the activities that you will create during the project. For example, as you see here, the main standards show that the students should discuss the topic, create a story, sing a song, and teachers should develop these the skills for these tasks. So we can create such activities, interview your teammates, for example. We can do this in every eTwinning project. We can create such activity. Or draw the picture. It can be a picture of the teammate or a picture of the school or the environment, and they can differ pictures that the teammates created. And then they can continue a line creating a song and then sing this song. And as one of the standards is to continue the song, we can make such activity for the students. About time allotment. Time allotment is a main part of the planning and project creating, I should say. It shows how much time to spend with each project steps, such as the introduction and the body of new information and the evaluation of the at the end. What should we do? We should look through the yearly lesson plan and decide how long we will teach and integrate the unit or units. Watching here, you can see that we will teach, I will teach or you will teach. It's not my annual lesson plan. I take it from internet. 2 chapters will be taught during January. So we can create such project, as we say, named famous people or leaders, famous leaders, well-known leaders. We can give extra time, a month before and a month after the unit, this unit, as we are going to teach or plan to teach. If we teach a topic at lesson during January, in project, it is the main activity time. During January, the students will fulfill main tasks related to the topic, but the project has to start in December, so that we should find and engage the partners in the project. The partners have to introduce themselves. And also, we should add a month to the end of the project, so that to create the last product and to evaluate the project. As you see, the main part is January. It's our lesson time. But a project starts in December or at the end of November. So that we should find the partners, then they should introduce themselves, the students should introduce themselves, and we should create a logo of the project or posters of the project. So this month is very main for us. But we should give a month after after January, and it will end in February. Because we should evaluate the project and also create the last outcome of the project. So our project will continue 3 months. It will last 3 months. Then benchmarking is arguably the most important step because it ensures that the best practice of scaffolding and formative assessment are embedded in the project. Benchmarking is simply taking your end products and breaking them into the meaningful phases and milestones. Within each of these benchmarks, the teacher identifies the content and skills necessary to complete the given phase of the project. As you see, I showed here, this is benchmarking and this is deliverable, the deliverable things. For example, in each step, we can create a resource in any Web2 tool. For example, we can create survey for the students, interview each other, narrate, or discuss something, and create a resource for these. So benchmarking is the main part of the project. Evaluation is the process that examines a project. It involves collecting and analyzing information about the partner's activities, characteristics, and outcomes. Uh, its purpose is to make a judgment about the project to improve its effectiveness. We should finalize the content standards we plan to assess and pull up Bloom's taxonomy verbs and bold the words in the language of the standards in a given domain. So we can see here that Bloom's taxonomy's thinking skills match to eTwinning project steps. And you can say introduction, we can say that it is remembering, lower order thinking skill, remembering. They introduce themselves, they present their country, and they present their teams. We can say sometimes the students create PowerPoint presentations and introduce and shows us some information about the topic it can be applying. Analyzing groups, group work, it is group work where the students go to discussion forums and discuss their and it is they analyze the topic, the problem. And evaluation and creating are the same steps in eTwinning projects. Evaluation, we have got such step in projects, and also creating, we create outcome of the project. So Bloom's taxonomy can help us to evaluate our projects. Also to create some activities for the project. For the project. For example, if we want to develop knowledge, this skill, we can give them such activity as define, identify, describe, recognize, tell, retell, illustrate. If we want to increase understanding skills, so we can give them such activities or tasks, summarize, interpret, classify, compare. If it is applying skills, we can say that students can fulfill such tasks as solving, changing, relating, sketching, teaching, or if it is analyzing skill, and we would like to develop an analyzing skills, we can give them such tasks, contrast, connect, relate, illustrate, and so on. In evaluation, we can create such activities: criticize, judge, defend, value, plan, grade. These verbs can help us to create such tasks and evaluate our work or our project. And create, they can create, in eTwinning we create a lot of outcomes. For example, website of the project, or blog of the project, ebook. The students use web tools and create such resources. Also, we can use design. This activity we can give them design or role play, develop, rewrite, collaborate, invent. One of the very interesting tasks, invention of something. So Bloom's taxonomies verbs can help us in creating and implementing lessons into our project. Then I talk about implementing lessons or our curriculum into projects. But if and what about if the eTwinners join the already ready project as a participant? And the founders, if the founders had already integrated it into the curriculum, their curriculum and lessons. Some teachers ask how to be in this case. First, I should say that we should be attentive and while joining the projects, and we should take into account that we have to develop projects based on lessons and curriculum, and also engage our students in activities that are related to the material we are going through and we are going to teach. So we should realize our standards in such projects too. We should find the matching fixing points between the project and the lessons. Also, we should try to realize the standards to maximum. And add our ideas and suggestions to the plan that I talked about this before. About that, founders should create sharing documents, collaborative sharing documents, where all participants and members could add their ideas and suggestions during the planning of the project. And you should add your suggestions and ideas to this sharing document and share your experience. And we can add our activities that match to the project tasks, find such matching points. And also, I can say that maybe in such projects we shouldn't try engage all students in one activity. Maybe we should work in groups with the students and divide students into groups according to their interests and abilities. For example, some students are interested in drawing. We can use their abilities, skills, and interests in, for example, creating illustrations, in drawing pictures, or creating logos. Some students, for example, are interested in ICT tools. They are good at ICT tools. They are ICT masters. Maybe we can give them such tasks that they can create resources for our project. Some students are good at writing, some at speaking. So we can give them such tasks that they will write essays, write or continue songs. But others are best at speaking. They have got good pronunciation. So we can give them, they will work in the project interviews. They will interview their group mates or the persons that we invite to our project. So I recommend you to work in groups. For example, if you have a national team, you can work in groups and divide the students into groups according to their interests and skills. So this is the end of my presentation. I'd like to uh, to ask you, have you got any questions or any suggestions, please?
Hello, thanks a lot. Yes, if there are any questions, please put them into the chat box. The slides and the recording can be shared later as well. But if you have any specific questions about the content, you can type them into the chat.
There is no any question. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see.
Okay, no questions at the moment. In case participants have them later, I suppose they can find you on eTwinning Live as well and connect there.
Oh.
Matthew says need to reread. Yes, I agree. Perhaps a lot of material. Yes, might arrive later. Yes.
Question will arrive later.
Yes, I think it takes some time to really digest.
How many students can participate? A lot of participants. It can be 10 students or 100 students. During the project, you can join every partner. If every partner will join, will add 10 students. The students membership will be, for example, 100. They will be 100. It depends on you. It depends on your founders. I think that there is no any limit to adding members. The main thing is that engaging in activities and creating resources for this.
Just one question that wasn't really asked in the chat, but do you have experience now continuing on projects and activities while the schools are closed, or when teachers and students have moved towards remote learning? So have you got experience on transforming these activities or projects into online sessions?
I think that till March, till February, we have no such experience. And during the March, we involved in distant studying, distant teaching. We in Azerbaijan there is such platform, and every teacher should join this platform and lead the students and teach their students there. There are a lot of resources to present it to students. But I should say I have no experience. I am not experienced in this sphere and join eTwinning projects with distant learning.
Thank you. There was one question that is common product.
Is the product is very important. Yes, common product is very important as one of the criteria of assisting or the evaluation of the projects. All projects is creating the outcome, last product of the project. So evaluating your national support service while evaluating your project, they assess it. Have you got such sharing document or sharing resource? And then, if not, then when is the meaning of collaborative project? I don't understand.
Yeah, I suppose it's the project is collaborative if there's this this product at the end, this common product at the end to show the collaboration.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. If there is no such product, how we can evaluate it and say that it is collaborative project? There should be such project, and it is important to create.
Okay, thank you. Any final questions?
Thank you, Atanas. Thank you. Please.
If no other final questions,
Very structured
yeah.
presentation.
If no other final questions, you can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will just stop the recording here.